Hey everybody, welcome back to Kat's Kitchen. I have another fast meal for you that you can prepare during the week before you leave the house. If you're very busy or whatnot, just something fast and healthy and simple to put together. So today it's going to be Crock Pot Chili. Now if you are staying home, you can definitely do this in a stock pot on the stove. You'll just have to turn it down low, and if you have a diffuser to put underneath it, I would definitely recommend that just so it doesn't stick. Anything with sauce, you definitely always want to use a diffuser. If you're not sure what a diffuser is, it's like a metal plate that goes underneath your pot in between your burner so that it would help. It basically diffuses the heat throughout the pot to help it from scalding any sauce or whatnot. Okay, so moving on. So for this chili, it's really easy. I'm going to show you what I have here. I have some beans that I canned. I have some ground beef that I canned. I also have some tomato products. I'm going to see if I need to use any of my canned tomatoes, but I have some stewed tomatoes. I have some vegetable juice. I have 2 medium to large carrots that are already sliced up in my crock pot. I have 1 small to medium onion. And then I have about this much corn that I'm also going to put in there. Honestly, the way I cook, guys, is I use whatever I have on hand. A traditional chili is onions and peppers, like bell peppers and onions, lots of beans, your ground beef, and then your tomato base products. So your, obviously your tomatoes, you want tomato chunks in it traditionally, and tomato juice. And then you would just taste it for flavoring and seasoning. We'll get to that later on. But the way I cook is I cook with what I have on hand, especially when you have a garden. You kind of have to work with what you got whenever things are getting harvested. So obviously we have carrots and we have corn this time for our vegetables to kind of replace the bell pepper. But that's okay. We work with what we have, and I hope you do too. So here's what we got. I'm just going to turn you over here to our pot. So we've got our crock pot here. Already have our carrots inside. I'm just going to drop our onions in there as well. And then we're going to mix all this up, so the order doesn't really matter here. I'm just going to put the rest of our corn in here. We had canned up a bunch of corn, and then we had froze the rest. Okay, so that's what we got going on right now. I'm gonna put in our 1 can of stewed tomatoes, and you're gonna see how easy this is, guys. This is just amazing. And then we've got 1 quart of beans here. These are pinto beans. They're just in a red sauce. They should be perfect for our chili. These ones I actually froze. So just so that you're aware, you can freeze them. I like these quart containers because I can freeze a lot of stuff in there, and it works well. I'm just gonna give this a little bit of a stir. It's already filling up fast. We haven't even put our meat in there yet, or our juice. But honestly, it looks really good so far. I'm glad I put the carrot in there. I know I was going to do the corn, but the carrot actually gives it some more texture. And obviously, anytime I can add in some more veggies, I definitely try to do that. Okay, so next is going to be for our beef. So I'm going to just show you what I've got here for the beef. Now this beef, we have canned this beef already. And as you can see here, there is a layer of fat. So we're going to remove that first before we add it into our dish. We're just going to take either a spoon or a knife. Let's see what works here. Just try to go around. Try to take some of this out first. Just get rid of some of that first. And we'll just take a knife around very gently. Then we're just going to throw this fat away. So we don't need to eat that fat. Now, if you are in a situation where you do not have any fat to cook with, you can definitely take this fat off of here, put it in another container, melt it, and use it for cooking. This is just beef fat. There's really nothing wrong with it. I just don't want it in our chili. But if there's a situation where you don't have access to fat, that's another thing you can do. So now we'll just pop this right in here to our crock pot. I'm going to get in here with a bigger spoon so we can mix all this stuff up. And I need to see if I need any more meat or beans for this. I know I'm probably going to need some more tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and put in our vegetable juice now. Vegetable juice is going to be the base for the entire soup. I guess chili's in its own category since it's not a stew, it's not a soup. I guess chili's its own thing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open up my other can of tomatoes that I've previously canned. If you guys are wondering how to test the jars before you're about to eat them, just to make sure that they're safe, I'll give you a little tip here. So basically, you're going to push on the lid, and if you don't hear anything, then that's good. If you hear a popping sound, then that means your seal's broken. The next thing you can do is hold it by the rim, off the counter, just a little bit. If it pulls up, then you know your seal's broken and you can't eat that. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to break the seal with our can opener. We're going to listen for that whooshing sound. So here we go. There it is. Alrighty, so you heard the whooshing sound. The next thing we're going to do is smell. It smells perfectly fine. It smells just like tomatoes. That's what we want. So those are the steps to take to just test to make sure your canned goods, whenever you go to consume them, are mucho bueno. So now we're just going to pour this jar, and juices and all, because we actually do need those tomato juices to help liquefy this chili a little bit better. All right, that looks great. We're just going to give this a little stir and see if I think I need another thing of beans in here. So I'm going to do the same thing, same test with my home canned beans here. Okay, that one looks nice too. And I think these beans are going to do it for what we need. Just go real gentle on the inside of the glass. You don't want to scrape the inside of your jars. This is going to be some nice chili right here. Okay. I'm just speculating right now if we need another pint of beef, and I think I am going to, because I do have it, and it's already opened. Actually, it was a few of the ones that did not seal when we were canning, and that's okay. You'll have that. I mean, that's why we're doing what we're doing here today. All right, guys, so now we're to the point where we're going to be starting to season this up. I'm just trying to use up what I have in the cupboard. I do have a chili seasoning packet. In here it has chili, chili pepper, cumin, salt, onion, garlic, and yeah, so basically a lot of the things I was going to put in there anyway. So I'm just going to use this first, and then we're going to add some of our seasoning. And it's one less thing in my cupboard. I'm going to follow it up with some pepper. This is just white pepper. I am going to put a little bit more chili powder in there because our crock pot is maxed out. It's going to need a little more love. So I got about a teaspoon of chili powder. I got about a tablespoon of powder, onion powder. I'm going to follow that up here. And we're going to do 2 teaspoons of onion powder and garlic powder. And then we've got some crushed red peppers, flakes. I'm just going to do a little bit of this. I like to have a little bit of heat in the chili, but not too much where you have heartburn. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of the chili pepper flakes. We've got some parsley here. And parsley is really good. Actually, we're going to use all this here. And that comes out to be about a tablespoon. And then I'm going to do a splash of turmeric. I like to do a little turmeric whenever I make stuff like this chili sometimes. And we're doing about a teaspoon there. Also, I'm going to bring in some minced garlic. And for this big of a pot, let's see, I'm going to do about a tablespoon and a half for right now. And then we'll taste it and assess it later on to see whatever else it needs. So we're just going to mix this up, and really it depends on how early you start this in the day. The majority of the things in here honestly are all cooked except for the onions and the carrots that we put in raw. Well, the corn needs a little cooking too, but the beef is already cooked and the beans are cooked, and those are the things that usually take the longest. So what I'm going to do, since I'm able to stay home with it today, is I'm just going to put it on low for 8 hours, and then I'll check it throughout the day. But generally the rule of thumb is either low for 8 hours or high for 4 hours. So I'm just going to mix this up, and I will see you guys back whenever we have the finished product. And then to go along with this, I just have some biscuits, you know, just some quick biscuits to pop in the oven. So that's what I'm going to serve it with. So I will see you guys back here shortly. Alrighty guys, here we are with our chili, our crock pot chili. This was done in, I had it on low for 8 hours. It was done about 7 hours. I just kept stirring it throughout the process. I had to drain a little bit of the vegetable juice off the top because it was starting to bubble up a little bit. I filled it up a little bit too high. Just keep that in mind in case you guys are putting this on and leaving for the day. Just try to keep it below, like the liquid. Keep everything kind of below this line a little bit. That way you don't have anything spilling over on you. But even still, it's no big deal. It just kind of drips over and you'll just have to clean it up. Unfortunate cleanup, but if that's the worst, that's not too bad. I'm just going to bake some biscuits right now. Nothing fancy, kind of like a Pillsbury biscuit. It's one of those busy work week days, so we're just trying to, you know, get something nice in our bellies before we end the evening. So I just want to thank you guys. Oh, I want to mention too, I had to add a little bit more seasoning to this. I wasn't sure about how much seasoning that first pack that I put in. It ended up needing some more garlic and onion powder along with salt and pepper, and I had a little bit more chili powder, and I also put in about 3 for all this. I mean, this is a lot of food right here. I don't know how many quarts this is, unfortunately, off the top of my head, but I put in about 3 to 4 tablespoons of sugar as well. And the reason why I use sugar is to balance out the acidity that's in the vegetable juice and the tomatoes that are in there. So that just sweetened it up just enough. The corn and everything, like, it all tastes so yummy. So yeah, so just want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.